Hello friends, in this video let us discuss the important formulas and the different problematic formulas which are related to the ESET level. So let us start with the first concept, solution. So if you look at the solution is a mixture of composition in which it is uniform throughout the mixture is called as a solution. Also we can state that solution is a combination of two or more substances which is a homogeneous mixture. So we call the solution as a homogeneous mixture because the dissolved materials present in the solution are same amount throughout the solution. That is why the solution is called as a homogeneous mixture. So if we look at the first type of solution, that is binary solution. The binary solution is a type of solution which consists only two components. So a solution which consists of two number of components, that means it's a combination of two different components. It's called as a binary solution, and the components present in the solution is there are two different type of components. That is, first is the solvent, and another one is the solute, in which the solvent is in a solution the solvent is the substance present in the large portion, and the solvent is a substance present in the solvent is the substance present in the large portion, and the solute is the substance present in small portion. This is how the solute and solvent get together forms a solution which is called as binary solution. And one of the important note we need to remember that in each case the solute particles are uniformly distributed among solvent particles. That is why the nature of the solution, so that is called as the nature of the solution. So if you look at some other important types of solutions, one is aqueous solution. So as we seen that the largest amount of component present in the solution is called as the solvent. In the aqueous solution, the solution which has water as solvent is called as a aqueous solution. It means the solution which large amount of water is called as the aqueous solution. So if we look at an example, the alcohol is a aqueous solution in which it is a mixture of ethanol and water. As the alcohol is a mixture of ethanol and water in which it contains large amount of ethanol. So the large amount of ethanol makes the solution aqueous solution. In the same way, if you look at the dilute solution, the dilute solution is a kind of solution. So it's a type of solution in which the solution has amount of solute is very low. It means the dilution is a process of decreasing the concentration. It decreases the concentration by adding of water. So as we add the water, the concentration of the solution will get decreases. So the process of decreasing the concentration of a solution is called as the dilution process. In the same way, if you look at the another important solution, that is the standard solution. So what is meant by standard solution? The standard solution is the solution in which its concentration can be definitely known. So we can know the concentration very easily. That kind of solution is called as a standard solution. So next, some more other important types of solutions will be classified based on some important factor, that is the solubility. Based upon the solubility is the property of a solid, liquid or gases to be able to dissolve, especially in water. So it means it is the capacity of a substance to dissolve in water is called as the solubility. So based upon the solubility, the solutions are further classified into different types. So let us see what are those different types. If you look at the different types of solution, the solutions are classified based on the amount of solute present within the solution, and by this amount of solute present within the solution, it is classified into three different types, but in saturated, unsaturated and supersaturated solution. So if we see with the saturated solution, the saturated solution is the solution which contains maximum amount of maximum amount of solute present within the solution. So the solution with maximum amount of solute is called as a saturated solution. That means it cannot dissolve any other solvent, any other solute further the reaching the maximum amount of solute in this dissolution of in this the solution. So that is called as a saturated solution. Example, we can say that at 20 degrees centigrade the maximum amount of NaCl that can be dissolved in 100 grams of water at 20 degrees centigrade, the NaCl is dissolved in water up to 36 grams. So after, if any more NaCl is added past this point, it means 36 grams. After this 36 grams reached, no any other NaCl cannot be added to dissolve within the solution because it reached the saturated solution state. So no any other excess amount of solute cannot be added. So that is called a saturated solution. So if we look at the next solution, unsaturated solution. So unsaturated solution is the solution which has the amount of dissolved solute is less than that of the unsaturated solution. It means it has the less than saturated solution. It has the amount of solute less than that of saturated solution. That means it can dissolve some more amount of solute within at a given temperature. It can dissolve some more amount of solute in the solution. So that is called as an unsaturated solution. And if we see the supersaturated solution, the solution which has more amount of, that means more excess amount of solute is present within the solution. So if this is the condition, the solution which has the more amount of solute within the solution, that is called as supersaturated solution. That means it cannot accept any more other excess of solute to dissolve within the solution. So these solutions are highly metastable. That means they are unstable. And these are prepared by heating or cooling. So these are the three different types of solution that are possible by the varying of solute present within the solution. If we proceed further, let us know the mole concept, which is the most important and easy concept. The mole is the unit measurement. So we need to know that the mole is a measurement. So it is a unit measurement of mass of a substance in SI, that is international standard units, is called as a mole, and it is defined as exactly 6.61023 into 10 to the power of 23 elementary units. That is a substance which has a 6.023 into 10 to the power of elementary units. The elementary units may be electrons or atoms and molecules. This mass is called as the mole concept, and the mass which has 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 is called as the Avogadro's number. So based upon this Avogadro's number, the mole concept will be dependent. And if we go further, so if we see further that 1 mole atom or number of moles will be in a solution present. The number of moles or 1 mole of atom present in a solution will be calculated by the formula weight of substance. So the weight of the substance, which is in grams, by the gram atomic weight. So the 1 mole of atom present within the solution is calculated by the formula weight of the substance by the gram atomic weight. So this is the formula to calculate the 1 mole of atom or the number of moles present in the solution. And if we look at that, the gram atomic weight, we need to know what is meant by gram atomic weight. So the gram atomic weight is the 1 gram of atom. 1 gram atomic weight. Gram atomic weight is the 1 gram atomic weight which is equals to weight of Avogadro's number of atoms. So the gram atomic weight is equals to weight of the Avogadro numbers, and in the same way if we get to know the number of gram atoms, the number of gram atoms will be calculated by So if you note these formulas, there are different concepts to be dealt in this chapter. So if you note this step by step, you may get a better idea of solutions concept. So you can solve very easily. So if we look at the number of gram atoms, the formula for the number of gram atoms is the weight of substance, which is in grams to the top gram atomic weight of substance. So this is the number of gram atoms present within a solution, and in the same way 1 mole of molecules, there are the formula for 1 mole of molecules need to be known. That is 1 mole of molecules equals to weight in grams to the top gram molecular weight. The weight of the substance to the top gram molecular weight is called as the 1 mole of molecule. And if you look at other important formulas, the number of molecules present in a solution can be calculated by formula number of moles present in the solution into Avogadro's number, which is 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23. So this is the formula to calculate the number of moles present in the solution. In the same way, let us see the number of atoms. Number of atoms present in the solution is calculated by number of moles into Avogadro's number, which is 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 into. So if we look at the number of atoms, it must be multiplied with one more factor, that is atomicity. So we need to know what is meant by atomicity. Atomicity is the number of atoms present in the molecule. So atomicity is the number of atoms present in molecule. So this is what mean by atomicity. So as we seen that the Avogadro's number, which is 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23, the Avogadro number is different types. There are two different types of number. So one is the Avogadro number is denoted with symbol n. So if we look at the two different concepts of Avogadro number, one is number of atoms in 1 gram atomic weight of a substance, and another one is number of moles in 1 gram molecular weight of a substance. Avogadro number is the number of atoms in 1 gram atomic weight of a substance. It means the Avogadro number can be stated as two different ways, and the other one is the number of molecules in 1 gram molecular weight of a substance. So we need to know the difference between the number of atoms and the number of molecules, and how the number of atoms and number of molecules vary with respect to the Avogadro's number. So if we see that the Avogadro number is 6.023 into the 10 to the power of 23, the reciprocal of Avogadro number, which is 1 by n, is called as, this reciprocal of Avogadro number is called as Avogram. So this is the one of the important concept. The reciprocal of Avogadro number is called as Avogram, which has a value of 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 24. So this is the reciprocal of Avogadro number. The value of Avogadro number, reciprocal of Avogadro number is Avogram, which is 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 24. And other important thing is that the number of moles for a gas at STP. So which is the number of moles of a gas at STP is the standard temperature and pressure. So at standard temperature and pressure, the number of moles present in a gas can be calculated by using the formula N equals to, if we look at the volume of gas is, so the N equals to volume of gas by gram molar value. So in which the gram molar value is, the volume of a gas is V and the gram molar value is 22.4. So from this the number of moles will be calculated, so which is N equals to V by 22.4, and the volume of gas will be calculated as N into gram molecular weight, gram molecular value, which is 22.4. By using this concept, we can calculate the volume of a gas or number of moles present in a gas at STP. So this is another important concept. So let us look at the one more important concept. So next other important concept need to be remembered from the chapter of solution is molarity. The molarity is the number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solution, that is 1000 ml. In 1000 ml of solution, the number of moles of solute present in the solution, in this 1000 ml of solution at a given temperature, is called as molarity. So what is the formula for to find the molarity is, the symbol for it is denoted with symbol M. So the molarity can be calculated by using formula N by V. So which is state that the N is the number of moles of solute present in the solution, N is the number of moles of solute present in the solution to that of the volume of solution. So the units of molarity will be, as the number of moles of solute is, units is moles and the volume is liters, the units of molarity will be moles per liter. And for dilute solution, there are 4 different concepts based on the molarity. For dilute solution, the molarity will be, as we know that the dilute solution is the solution which tends to decrease the concentration of a solution. So dilute solution means the amount of solute is very less amount of solute. So that means we need to decrease the amount of solute present in the solution, so that tends to decrease the concentration of the solution. So in the case of dilute solution, the molarity can be calculated by using formula M1 V1 equals to M2 V2. So this equation helps to calculate the molarity of the first solution or the second solution, and volume of the first solution or the second solution, in which M is the molarity of the concentrated solution. You should note that M1 is the molarity of the concentrated solution and M2 is the molarity of the dilute solution. So this is the important point you need to remember, that M1 is the molarity of the concentrated solution and M2 is the molarity of the diluted solution. In this way, if we look at the another important thing, that for volumetric titration, when 2 different substances react, that is by the method of analytical method, where concentration of a substance in solution is estimated by adding exactly same number of equivalents of another substance present in solution is called as the volumetric titration process. So in this way, when two different substances react, what will be the molarity and what will be the volume, this can be calculated. That is when two different substances when two different substances react with each other, the molarity and the volume and will be calculated by formula m1 v1 by n1 equals to m2 v2 by n2, in which m1 v1 m1 and m2 are the molarities, v1 v2 are the volumes of the solutions, and n1 and n2 are the number of moles of solute present in the solution. So in this way, when two different substances are combined together, the molarity and the volume will be calculated by using this formula. So this is the another important formula. So if you look at some more other important formula based on the molarity concept, and this formula can be used for the solutions which are acids and basic solutions. Next, other important thing we need to know that when we need to find molarity of a mixed solution, that is, if we need to find the molarity of a solution which is combination of two different solutions, so at a time we need to find the complete solution molarity. That at that point of view, we use the formula m1 v1 plus m2 v2 by v1 plus v2. So this is the formula when two solutions are mixed together to calculate the molarity of the entire solution. This is the formula to calculate. And if we look at the another important concept, if a solution with molarity m1 and volume v1 is diluted, means it means that its concentration is decreased. So it's diluted to m2 v2. So when a solution is diluted from m1 v1 to the m2 v2, at this time the v1 m1 will be equals to v2 m2. So if a solution m1 v1 is diluted to m2 v2, at that time the solution which is concentrated is equals to the solution which is diluted. So from this equation we can calculate the molarity of the solution before dilution and solution of the molarity of the solution after dilution. By using this concept, we can calculate the molarity and the volume. In the same way, if we look at the other important concept, so volume of water need to be added. Volume of water to be added. So what does it mean? The volume of water to be added means, so we need to add some water to dilute a solution. So what amount of volume of water need to be added to dilute the solution? So it is the formula that v2 minus v1, which is the volume after dilution minus volume before dilution. The volume after dilution minus volume before dilution gives the volume of the water to be added for the dilution of a solution. In the same way, if we look at some more other important concept, so if we get to know other important concept of molarity, so look at this concept that if density and weight percentage, suppose if density and weight percentage of a substance in a solution are known to us, then what will be the way to find the molarity of these substances? So the formula will be, so he given that density and the weight percentage of the solution. So we need to find the molarity of the substance using these two terms. So the formula will be molarity equals to density into weight percentage into 10 by molecular weight. So this is how we can calculate when the molarity, when the density and weight percentage is given. So from this we can calculate the molarity of the given solution. In the same way, if you look at the other important concept, which is the last one of the molarity concept, the when molarity of a mixture of solution of different concentration of same substances. So if you look at this concept, when there is a mixture of two different concentrations of same substance, how to calculate the molarity? So at this point of view, the molarity will be calculated by formula V1 M1 plus V2 M2 plus it goes on to Vn and Mn by the total volume. So this is how we can calculate the molarity of a mixture of solution of different concentration but of same substances. So this is the end of the molarity concept. If you look at the next important concept, that is normality. If we proceed to know what is mean by normality, normality is the number of gram equivalents of solute present in 1 liter of solution, that is 1000 ml of solution. How many number of gram equivalents of solute present within 1000 ml of solution, that is called as normality. So we need to know what is mean by gram equivalents. So the gram equivalence can be also stated as the equivalent weight, and the gram equivalence is the mass of one equivalent or the mass of the given substance, that is called as the gram equivalence. And the normality can be calculated by the formula weight of substance, that is denoted by symbol W, by gram equivalent weight of the gram equivalent weight of solute. Sorry, normality is the if we proceed to know the next important concept of the solution, that is normality. Normality is the number of gram equivalents of solute present in a 1000 ml of solution, that is in 1 liter of solution, how many number of gram equivalents of solute present is said to be normality. And we need to know what is mean by gram equivalents. The gram equivalent is also stated as the equivalent weight. It is the mass of the one equivalent or the mass of the given substance, that is said to be the gram equivalent. So the normality will be equals to the number of gram equivalents of solute by the volume of solution in liters. So this is how we need to calculate the normality of the given solution. And in the same way, if we get to know what is mean by gram equivalence, the gram equivalence is the ratio of weight of solution. Weight of solution is W to that of the gram equivalent weight of solute, that is E. So this is how we will calculate the gram equivalence, which is the weight of the solute to that of gram equivalent of the solute. So if we look at some important point, that if 1 gram equivalent weight of solute is present in 1 liter of solution, that is called as 1 normality. So if 1 gram equivalent weight of solute is present in 1 liter of solution, that is called as 1 normality. And if 0.1 gram equivalent weight of solute present in a solution, that is called as 0.1 normality. In the same way, if we look at the next other important concept, that is, if a solution with normality N1 and the volume V1 is diluted, see, diluted means its concentration got decreased to V2. So as the concentration decreases, the volume increases, so its volume changed to V2. So what is the normality? So its normality after dilution will be N2. So to calculate the change in normality, we have a formula, that is V1 N1 equals to V2 N2, which is the volume of the solution before dilution, and the V2 is the volume of the solution after dilution, and N1 and N2 are the concentration of the solution before dilution and after dilution. This is how we can calculate the normality of the solution. In the same way as we seen in the molarity concept, just same as that, the volume of water to be added, so the volume of water to be added to dilute a solution from V1 N1 to V2. So V2, as the volume as the solution is diluted, its volume changes and its normality will be changes to N2. So at this point of view, we need to calculate how much volume of water got added to the solution to get its dilution. So it is determined by formula V is equals to V1 N1 by N2, that is equals to V2. So this is the V2 is the volume of water need to be added to make the solution diluted. And in the same way, if we look at the other important concept, the normality of a mixture solution, the normality of a mixture solution can be calculated by formula, and the normality of a mixture solution of different concentration of same substances. You need to remember that I am saying that it's a concentration of it's a mixture of different concentration of same substances. This can be calculated by formula N is equals to V1 N1 plus V2 N2 plus it goes on exceeds to Vn Nn by the total volume. So this is how we will calculate the different values in terms of normality. And if you look at the next important concept, the relation said that molarity of a solution into molecular weight of the solution will be equals to normality of a solution into equivalent weight of the solution. So from this equation, we can determine that molarity will be equals to normality into equivalent weight of the solution by molecular weight of the solution. And in the same way, if we go with the normality will be equals to molarity into molecular weight by the equivalent weight. This is how the relation between the molarity and normality will be defined. So by using this formula, we can calculate either by, if we given that the normality and molecular weight or the molarity and the equivalent weight, we can calculate any of the opposite quantity. By using this formula, we can calculate.